Many riders are saying that Sturgis is dead. It's been dethroned as the king of rallies, and it's been dying a slow and dismal death for several years now. But is that the truth? Well, aside from having gone myself, I dug into the facts, and I was pretty shocked at what I found. So in this video, I'm gonna cover how Sturgis went from legend to what it is now, what the uncomfortable facts are about its popularity, and why it might not survive what's coming. Now, bear in mind, I've been riding motorcycles to the 7-Eleven and building them very badly for 20 years. I've even developed hundreds of bitchin' parts. I've seen a few things on the road and in the shop. You know what else I love to see? Titties. Now, if you like titties too, hit that like button. It lets me know you're enjoying the content and it keeps the light in my eyes from going out. Let's dive into this. So how did Sturgis go from legend to what it is now? What if I told you the biggest motorcycle rally in the friggin' world started with pretty much a handful of dudes in a dusty old dirt track? Well, back in 1938 in Sturgis, a guy named Clarence Pappy Hoyle, who just happened to own an Indian motorcycle dealership, yeah, there wasn't like a big Harley thing yet, they decided to throw a wee little race. Nothing really insane, no beer chugging contests, no slow races, just some hill climbs, flat track racing, and a group called the Jack Pine Gypsies Motorcycle Club getting together to ride motorcycles and, as I would say, do fun shit. But here's the crazy thing. Only about a dozen people showed up. That's it. No vendors, no concerts, no full-blown chaos, just racing. But after World War II, everything completely changed. Soldiers came home, motorcycles got cheaper, and suddenly this little race turned into a full-blown gathering. More riders showed up, and then way more. Showed up. And you can only imagine how many more riders showed up then. Now, it really brought out the breast in riders, I'll say. What's crazy is no one would even know what it would become. At the height of its popularity, it drew in well over 500,000 people. And for perspective, that's around 30% of the people who saw Justice Beaver in concert in 1 year. And now, instead of one measly day long, it's 10 days or more, with some people staying up to a month. And it sprawls across hundreds of miles of the Black Hills in absolutely gorgeous South Dakota. Now, what started out as just a simple old-timey flat track and hill climb competition now includes massive international name concerts, vendors, shows, expositions, burnout competitions, stunt riding, and demo rides. It literally generates between about $600 and $800 million in the very short time the event runs. It has literally transformed from a crusty little dirt race to one of the largest gatherings of idiots who ride motorcycles on the planet. So what do people say about this absolutely legendary event today? It's not great. People say it's on life support. They say it's dying. They say attendance is collapsing and the glory days are long gone. They say it's a funeral in slow motion. Well, they also say it's for old people. Sturgis, the retirement home with handlebars and leather tassels. They also say it's for people who need a rebel identity, and younger people don't give a about that. You can just buy a leather vest and be in the SOA club for a week. Ooh. They say, hell, you actually need to take out a second on your home to even survive a week in Sturgis. And finally, they say it's so commercial it's lost all authenticity. They say it's just a corporate theme park with motorcycles as a prop. Now that's the chatter, but I want to know from everyone that's gone, what are your guys' experiences? What have those experiences been? Let me know in the comments. The uncomfortable facts about its popularity. So is any of that true? Well, let's uncover the uncomfortable facts from sheer numbers. Now I looked at total attendance, but then I thought, well, that actually doesn't give the full picture. So instead, I spent hours digging into the last 20 years of Sturgis to uncover what's actually happening. I looked at, yes, general attendance, but also demographics, corporate involvement over the years, costs, and took all that to see if I could extrapolate some form of truth here to determine, like, is this rally even dead or is it even dying? Well, it turns out that aside from 2020, attendance-wise, if you look at the attendance on a 20-year graph, it's shown some really actually impressive growth. If you base the word dying on attendance only, there is no evidence the rally is even close to its deathbed. I'm not dead. So that myth busted. Always wanted to do that. Now, what about the old person thing? Just look at this graph. Insane, right? Don't you love charts? Science. Science rules. Well, if you look at the age trend, the average age of attendees has barely shifted between 49-year-olds and 53-year-olds. But if you look at the last 10 years, the age is actually trending down by a whopping 3 years. That says the crowd is getting slightly younger, but not meaningfully. However, it certainly is not getting older. So that myth busted. Now, why it might not survive what's coming? What's the problem? What might be coming that could have Sturgis dethroned as the king of the motorcycle rallies? Well, I can tell you it's not another rally, that's for sure. It's two external forces that Sturgis is facing, and that is the seemingly growing perception that it is unaffordable and too commercial. Now, why do I say perception? Well, that's because I believe Sturgis may have more of a PR problem than an actual problem when I'm wading through the internet opinions. Now, when it comes to the affordability, while the rally itself is free and the event has something for a wide range of budgets, the general perception that is growing pretty fast is that it's just too damn expensive. And the problem is that the public perception can fast become Sturgis's reality if the narrative isn't controlled by the rally. And I'll show you how I think they can do that in a moment. Now, tell me in the comments what you think they can do to change things. Now, as for the event being commercial, control. I think if you look, you can find some less commercially stuff at Sturgis. I mean, anything is possible, right? Now, as far as I can tell in my research, that stuff ain't obvious or easy to find. I haven't been there for the last few years, but I know several people who go every year, and their perception was there are a lot of black baggers and trikes, and huge banners and gaudy advertisements everywhere you look. There's very little in the way of custom, handmade, grassroots, authentic culture, we'll call it. And this seems to be a growing perception of what you're gonna see at Sturgis, like a costume party with garbage barges as an accessory. And everyone's got some advertisement on their vest. People are wondering why their eyes have to be scorched at every turn with some kind of sales pitch and ad campaign. It's like the entire thing is just a farm to steal your money. But are these problems real and actually affecting Sturgis's reign? Not at the moment, but like I said, perception can fast become reality. And that's why I think Sturgis may have a PR problem. Look, only the biggest businesses with deeper pockets can afford to promote and advertise their new fancy schmancy offerings, so that's what most people get exposed to. You might get lucky and find some grassroots kind of stuff through IG or a blog, but from what I've seen, the perception of Sturgis being too expensive and commercialized is very real. Now, why would a business advertise the cheapest accommodations where they make the least profit? They're going to advertise their biggest and best and attract that bigger profit margin. Just business. But is that Sturgis's goal? Now, I can tell you that any organization that has reached the top just wants to stay there as long as possible. And speaking of staying hard, head over to the forum and join the conversation where everyone is hard as F. Drop your diagnosing questions or share pics of your build. No feet pics, please. I'm on there daily answering your questions. So what does Sturgis have to do to fix this? Get better press around and the affordable things you can do, at the grassroots aspects of the event that get little press, kind of start sharing those things. I think they just need to change the narrative a little bit that it's building so it doesn't become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And this means exposing more of the fun, affordable things to see or do that are actually there, but not advertised well. Now, I made this video because I was actually thinking about going to Sturgis again, and as I uncovered more, I've decided this year I am definitely gonna go to check out the Sturgis that it is today, and uncover whether the event still ranks supreme as the biggest and best motorcycle rally in the USA, or is it headed the way of the dodo? Now, in Southern California here, we have Born Free, so I do have a really nice motorcycle rally event to compare Sturgis to. I wonder what I'm gonna find. Look, you can't believe everything you hear online, so some things you just have to go see yourself. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'll be buying 20 billboards and spending a minimum of $70,000 on advertising my Sturgis trip and giving away t-shirts with the nipples cut out. Now, if you really wanna see what Sturgis really has to offer this year, the brutal way, subscribe, do fun.